Hey, top of the morning to you. I'm Michael, or as the grandkids call me, Roo. I'm so glad you could join me this morning. It is Tuesday. Tuesday. That's it. Tuesday. You know what? Days now sort of get numbered. Not only the fact that I've been numbering, but they just get numbered to me. Is this day 7, which used to be Sunday, which used to be 1, which used to be the start of the week, or is this 3 or 5? I don't really know, but I know it's Tuesday. I know it's Tuesday. And so here we are. Let me say hello, and we'll get into today's painting, and I'll tell you about all the day. Um, so let me just look over here and jump in. Yes, Skeeter has already mentioned it. I think it's day 98. All right, let's just go get into this a couple times. And I'll just shift down to the desk here, Skeeter, and there it is. It's showtime. Um, I like this Roo. I painted this Roo a long time ago, and I don't know why. It just looked like he was saying showtime. This was probably 2 years before I even thought about doing a show on Facebook, YouTube, or anywhere else that I do painting. So here it is. Here's the B right here. I've held on to him so far 98 days. This is it. Yesterday was really not 98. I'm classifying that, as I said in my recording, the Roo chord. The Roo record, pre-chord, was 97.55. So there, my alarm just came off and said, it probably says Terry Tardy. Oh, no, 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 no. This is why I changed it. You know what? It says tax day tomorrow. I'm going like, yeah, right. That's why I didn't want to finish 100 days on the 15th, okay? I know it's supposed to be April the 15th. I thought we'd been long done with this, but here we go. It's 98. There's the 98th day right there. 2 days left. That will be Wednesday and Thursday, Lord willing. I'll be back. We'll finish up 100 days. Holy smokes. Look at the back of this little piece of scribble paper. 98 is on Tuesday. So there it is right there. That's it. Got a few more days to go, just 2, and we'll figure out what we're going to do. So it's day 98. Thank you for joining me this morning. I'm going to still say hello to a few of you. I'm going to put this over here. So far, I've kept up with it pretty doggone well, and I just might say, in this mess of a desk, I'm happy with myself. Thought I was going to break into a little poem there, but I didn't. So, Shanoa, thank you for jumping on board early this morning. Glad to have you. And Robert Small from Veracruz. Yes. Carol Todd Monday. Welcome, Trish. Welcome, Zoe. Marion Jones. Let's paint, not pay taxes. That sounds like something that was at the Boston Tea Party. Speaking of which, I hope you got your cuppa with you this morning. Cup of coffee, cup of tea. I'm having Thai food. Someone actually said, how do you spell Thai food? I'm going like, you asked me how to spell something? What the heck were you thinking? Hey, here's what it is. Thai food is Ty hyphen PHOO, Thai food. I drink Thai food tea because it's easier to get than Builder's tea, and I hardly can't tell the difference. Builder's tea, of course, is the tea I used to get from Britain, from the tea depot there, and the box I loved. It was a construction-looking box, had a lot of writing on it, and the box said, I know what the box said. The box said, this country wasn't built on chamomile. That's what the box said. And I just said, I hope this tea is good because I love the box. So Thai food is a round bag. I just keep it in there. Can you see it? It's just floating around in there. That means I get that last bit of, and it's not overly strong and bitter, so I like it. Little hot tea in my office today. It's only 79 in the office right now, or 80, 81. It was 89 to 90 when I did the recording the other night. The guys are almost finished with the Aerobee on back up here, and then they got to start downstairs. Yeah, it's an old house. Okay, we're old people. All right, so here we go. Kim Sheets, thank you. It's a birthday morning. Okay. I think her birthday probably was yesterday or the day before, but I just messed it all up. But it doesn't matter. She will appreciate it when she watches this. Skeeter Pal, you don't even look 98, brother. So thank you for being on board today. And Andrea, welcome. Belinda, Patricia, Ina. Is it Ina from Oregon? Good job. All right. Thank you. I hope I pronounced it Ina. Ina. I know what. You guys give me great grace with names, okay? Because, I grew up in East Tennessee. And, so we worried about throwing rocks and skipping rocks and catching good crappie. And we didn't call them crappie. Who would want to eat a fish like that? We called them crappie. That's what they were called when I called them back then. Laurie, welcome to the show. Julie, Margaret, thank you. Day 98. Good morning, Margaret. Good morning, Jessica. Jessica, glad you're here. Crystal, thank you. And thank you for your notes once again. Some of you have sent me some very interesting and great notes. I appreciate it so much. Jessica, I'm going to miss these too. So listen, what people are sending me all kinds of notes and ideas. I mean a lot. Okay, so my mailbox is full, and I don't even know how you got my mailbox. Maybe from buying things and my returns on there. That's what you did. You're detectives out there. So I don't know, what am I going to do at 100. I'm going to do something. First thing I'm going to do is take just a couple of days off to spend with my family, and sit on the back porch and rock and have some tea and whittle a little. Because putting a show together has been like race and push and what are you going to do and how are you going to answer all these questions and all the things that I did not think it would be, but I have loved because of the community that you have built. So I'm grateful for that. At the same time, thank you for sharing this page and telling people about it because that has helped me continue and it's helped Facebook kind of put it in a format to give it a life of its own. And so I don't know. I might look for someone to help me sponsor it a little bit, and I might come at it from another angle. I might look at it as a not a teaching show, but an encouraging show to get people into the arts. And I'll come back and do something. Just I'll keep you posted. So don't go away as someone who just lost their ball glove, which I have lost something today, and I cannot find it. And it's a microphone, and it's driving me crazy. I had it when I loaded up my gear yesterday, and I don't know where it is, and I'm a little put out. But I'll find it. So when you lose something, you have that feeling. And here's a quote for you: make it, and you go through life, make a dent and leave a hole. I've taught my kids that, and Carol and I have taught them that for a long time. But make a dent where you are. That means you got to come in contact with someone. Right now, they're asking us not to come in contact with people. Okay, everybody's wearing. Yesterday, I shot video in 3 hours with a mask on. Okay, and I didn't wear my Lone Ranger mask. That would have hindered my sight. This would just hindered my breathing. But the point is that when you come in contact with people, whether it's via virtually like this in a show, you need to make a dent in people, and you need to say, "Hey, I'm here. I understand. I get this. This is why this show is not political. It's why it's not a bantering, ranting show. There's enough of that in the news. It's a show about encouraging you to use these, use this, use this. The heart I'm pointing to, you can't see, to be creative, to be creative. Just do something better on this world that you're a part of. It's not overly spiritual. It's about a man who believes, but it's and a believer, but it's not about preaching. Oh, it's about roosters getting on their soapboxes and saying the things. But anyway, you understand where I'm going with that? I think you do. So I'll come back and do something fun. Judy, Miss Carla, thank you. Donna, Debbie, Laurie. Wow, just so many of you. Tricia, Ruth Ann. Love to see all of you on this morning. I'm going to jump to the painting because we got a lot to do today. So here I go. I'm on the desk, and we've had a lot of new people join us in the last 98 days. And so I thought I'd bring out the Weird and Wonderful Words book today. Let me get a little music going in the background here. See if it's too loud because I was in here yesterday afternoon trying to put my gear back together. And I need a little Hartford banjo in the background. So this book, of course, some of you know what I've been doing with this book since day one. Weird and Wonderful Words is by Erin McKean. I know she never responded back. I sent her an email and said, Erin, I love your book. Thank you. Here's what I'm doing to it. And I'm not defiling it. I've actually got people across the world buying it and reading it, but some of them are painting in it. So what I did was I would just turn in here these weird and wonderful words. I would find a word like, and then I would paint some roosters or peeps or hens or my style of Roodoodle fine things. I'd paint that like this one right here is aquamanel. Aquamanel is a mug. It's something that's that's not even the word. It's another word right here. It's yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Yes, a bowl or a jug made in the form of an animal or a bird. You find those in architects find things all the time. They go, oh look, they made this vessel into the shape of a goose. Wonder why? And he goes, I don't know. Some artist was making it instead of the guy who just made a cereal bowl. But I painted things that I found interesting. So there's a few bees, and I thought I'd do a bee this morning. I found a word that I may have mentioned before, but I just saw it here. And so I turn in the book. That's what I do. I turn in the book. This just loosens the paint up, gets me loose, gets the paint moist. So this has been a fun book to just paint in. And I like just not worrying about the paper for starters, because paper and pens and paint are so important if you're doing watercolor. All right. In this case, it's just kind of letting the wheels come off and warm up a little bit. There's one I'll have to finish. Maybe I'll finish this one in the next few days. It's called Lurkey. Oh, yeah. I painted another one like this. It's a children's game. Lurkey is a children's game that I called when I grew up outside of Knoxville, Tennessee, a little town called Bluegrass. It's called Kick the Can. And so we would put a little circle there, or set a dirt spot, and we'd put the can there, and then you had to go hide, and then they had to look for you, and you try to get back to the can and kick it before somebody said, I spy you, or whatever. I don't know what they said. I remember we used to say something about home free. I can't remember it. All right, so the word this morning, here's the word right here. The word is Florisurgent, Florisurgent, Florisurgent. And I'm sure I butcher a lot of these words. That's not the point of this, whether I can pronounce them and know all the definitions. The fact is, it's an adjective meaning taking honey or sucking honey from flowers. So what does that remind you of? It reminds you of bees. So here's what we do. I'm painting out of this palette this morning. There it is right there. I sprayed a little bit of water in it just to loosen up the colors like this. This is just simple water in a spray bottle, an atomizer. Pretty fine spray there. Don't want to put like big globs in there. Uh, and then I'm just going to grab a brush. And this morning I'm going to use a bigger brush. I'm going to use something that's really got some well, not really, but a little more meat to it. See this? I normally paint with a 1 or a 0, like a bamboo brush, something like this. That's not the one I usually paint with. It feels differently. Here they are right here. This is it right here. This is the one I usually paint with here. I do probably 80% of my paintings with this bamboo brush right here. They're really light. I like the way they help me be loose. Some of you are starting using bamboo brushes. You're sending me notes saying, oh my gosh, it's like painting a deck floor with a mop. It's like holds tons of water. So I'm going to just grab a bigger one here this morning, wet it down. Notice what happens when you wet it. That frayed end comes to, it's not so afraid. Boom, I'll be here all week. I'm thinking this needs a big old flower on it. What do you think? Let's sketch it just so you know where I'm going with this. Okay, so let's do one of those rudbeckia flowers. Rudbeckia. Okay, how about like this? Let's do a ball on it like this, and then let's do some big old leaves down like this. Oh yeah. I think you call them black-eyed Susies or butterfly flowers or rudbeckia or upside down flowers. I don't know. You call them. Everybody calls something different. Have you noticed? So I can't say this is a so-and-so because 5 of you will come on saying, Jackie Wallace, you grew up outside of Knoxville in Bluegrass? Come on, really? I went to Bluegrass Elementary School. I think the year that I left there, I think there were 181 students. That was grades 1 to 8. The paper on your desk that you're painting on top of, you want to know what that is? It's just a school blotter. It's actually sketching paper. And I put it here just to rescue my desk a little bit. It's not that important. It just makes a background white for you. I usually paint on a piece of, ready for this? If you're taking notes, I usually paint on a piece of gator foam. Gator, G-A, just like it sounds, gator, like alligator foam. It's not, it's thicker than foam core, and it's hard on both sides. And a piece of it will last you for several years, but it's expensive. But I didn't want to move that around. I wanted something soft that I could note on and scratch on for notes to myself while I'm here. So I use this soft paper. So that's what it is. Here, I'm just going to show you what. Sorry, getting out of the shot here for a second. Here's what it looks like right there. See that? That's it. It's just kind of a good little sketch paper. Can you paint on it? You can. Oh, here we go. You can, but this is what will happen to it. It'll take a little color, but it'll wrinkle, crinkle up. It doesn't have. It's certainly not. May have a touch of cotton in it. No, it doesn't. It's all wood fiber. This thin pressed paper. All right, let's get busy here. I got work to do before I sleep. All right, so here's our Rubecchio coming in right here. Yeah, see, that's already taking shape. All right, this is just a warm-up painting. So don't get in a hurry with things if you're wondering how you're going to do those, or maybe you should get in a hurry. Maybe sometimes today you should just set a timer, like an hourglass. What happened if you just took a little hourglass and said, I have 3 minutes to paint something, and you turned it over, like an egg timer. And you went, oh my gosh, there's no way I can do that because it takes me hours to paint something. What if it didn't? What if you just learned to do this? And here's what would happen. Would it make your painting worse? Maybe. I doubt it. It would probably make your painting better because you would learn control and you would look at this and you'd say, I'm just leaving it. I'm moving on to the next thing. And that might be pretty handy. That might be pretty handy because some of you, a lot of the emails, a lot of letters I'm getting, you're saying things like, I just don't understand how you are always painting so loose. How do you get it to be a little looser? And I'm just going to move this over a little bit so you can see it just a tad better this morning. Sorry, I've crowded it. It's amazing. I was going great for about 50 days, and then, of course, when I tear my desk apart, you can't see what I'm working on. But don't you love this a little bit? Don't you love the fact that you can read the words through here? Maybe you're a poet. Maybe you're a wordsmith, a blogger. Maybe you write a page of words, and then you come back in and paint something on it that represents a main point in there. You know how artists, how book authors do this? They always put like a little key paragraph somewhere. Let's see, there'll be one show up here. Well, here it is right here. They always do a little something and they highlight one word, or they'll do a box that emphasizes a statement or a quote or a paragraph. Here's one right here. I'm sure there's a name in publishing for what this little box is called. I really don't know what that book box is called. But it's like, I wrote all these words, but this is what I really want you to get off this page. Did you know you can understand the author's mind by just reading the fine ones? Not in stories, but certainly and leadership books. All you have to do, a leadership book only has to have 7 chapters. That's it. I can't handle more than 7 points. I really can't handle more than 3 on Sundays, but 7 points is really when I'm soaked it in. I got it, and sometimes 3 of those go back to emphasize 3 of the others. But that's yeah. All right. So there's my rudbeckia. Maybe a little bit of splatter in here. Maybe just a tad more green in the leaves to come out like this. Okay. So what does rudbeckia need for this warm up? Of course, you know what it needs. It needs a bee. So let's see if I can find a bold pen here. Don't use many of these. Nope, that's not it. Thought I had a bold pen. Thought I had a cheap bold pen up here. Even a flare would work. All right, that's all right. I'll use this right here. All right, so I think we need a big old bee coming in here. So there's his head. Here's his body coming up like this. Here's his wings coming out. Here's the other wing. He's segmented body coming down like so. Here's his legs. He's going across the page with his antennae. My dad was a beekeeper, so everything around our house for a long time was pretty much sticky. And certainly after he kind of was forced to retire, some illness from his construction, he got into the beekeeping in a major, major way. And I think I've told you before, he didn't even know. I don't even think we knew he was a storyteller until one time I came home from school. I was probably in high school at the time, or maybe freshman high school, maybe 8th grade. I don't know. I just come home and throw my books in the mailbox because I didn't really carry any books. But what I had a clipboard, a nifty-50 paper, and I would put that in the mailbox. That way I'd remember to get it in the morning when I got on the bus. And I saw these trucks from the University of Tennessee there, and we called my dad Popsy. And I went around the corner, and Popsy's holding court. He's got all these guys there, and they got notebooks out, and they're taking notes, and he's just telling them about bees, and they're going like, "Well, our bees out on the ag farm at the University of Tennessee, we don't do that with them." And he goes, "Well, that's why they're dying, Or he was just kind of he was an interesting guy. He's a hard guy to work for. My brother would tell you that, but we worked for him for sometimes. My brother, by the way, is a writer, and I'm going to take a moment here in a minute and tell you about his book. He's got a book that I think you need to know about. He's got actually lots of books, but I'm going to share my favorite with you. And so I thought you would appreciate that because many of you have been jumping on Etsy. If you go to a website and you've been purchasing my book, and by the way, you can buy my book from Amazon. It's called Hey Roo, What's a Wheelbarrow? But you can also get that book from going to my website. If you go through Etsy and get it, that means it comes through me. Oh, yes, it costs you a couple more bucks. I'm gonna pick up postage for you a few more ways, but I'll paint in the front of it and sign it to whoever, maybe your kids or somebody who would enjoy reading it to other people. Okay, there's the bee coming in for the rudbeckia. All right, so I didn't have a really good bee in here. I had some small ones, but I wanted to put that in this book before I finished the 100 days. That was part of what I wanted to do, just a warm up for me. Okay, let's do a few roos this morning. Okay. Let me say hi, Alice Jordan. Glad you're here. Hi, Mickey. Randall Craven. Randall Taylor. Thank you for being here. Jenny, welcome to the show. Jenny's still got a painting that'll be finished and it's coming to you. I put it off as long as I could. I've held it out for these 100 days, but you're going to get it. And I'm also sending you a free painting. Both of these are free again. Well, one's not, I guess you paid it a long time ago. But I'm sending you a painting to deliver to your neighbors. That's still coming to make a circle complete on this story. Brittany, thank you for being on board. Charlie Hahn, whoa, morning, brother. Just woke up and joined you. Well, I just was talking about you. Thank you. Glad you're here, man. My brother still lives next to Neil Mallory, but you don't even know each other. Neil's a banjo picker, lives in Maryville, Tennessee. And I sold a painting to a lady recently in Maryville, and it was a painting of a bridge. And I'm going like, I don't sell many bridges. And she goes, well, you don't paint many. So, hey, Charlie, I'm going to tell folks about your book in a minute because it's my, you've written a lot of books. This is probably my favorite of yours, and I read it over and over. I read it, but I read it to my grandkids too, and I have a couple of them reading it. It's just got a great connection, and I love connections. Can you tell? That's why we're doing this. Virginia, welcome. Susan Peters, thank you. I may miss some of you. I'll catch you on the rebound. Thank you for being here on day 98. Bobby King, Irma, thank you. Michael Ash, your mic is a little off today. Sounds a little like Alvin and the Chipmunks. Yeah, it's a different microphone because I've lost my other microphone. Isn't that amazing? And so if you just saw that text come up, I'm so sorry. I thought I'd turned all those off, but apparently I haven't. For some reason, it shot in there, but it was about a speedy recovery. Sent a young lady a note last night about. Okay, so yeah, the microphone is a different microphone, so I'm sorry about. Oh boy, I sound like what, Mickey from. All right, so I'm going to do a bold roo. Here, let's do this. I'm going to do a bold roo today, and I'm going to do a an old roo and a told roo. How's that? Bold, old, and told. There we go. So the bold roo is going to be in. The bold roo is going to start out with an '07 pen, if I can find one. Here's one right here. All right, this is a Pentel Intergel, and it's a .7. It's needle point. Don't buy the ball point. Buy a needle point if you want to sketch with these. If you like the bleeding of the pen. You know, that sounds like the running of the bulls, doesn't it? The bleeding of the pen. Why do I use a pen like this? This is the '07. How many times have I done this on this show? 26. That's the '05. This is Speedball fountain pen. So this is '05. This is Speedball. And this is stylus pen. And this is ultrafine flare. Okay, there we go. There's my little key. Watch this. Let me move this piece of paper. I'll just get a damp brush, clean brush, and with some water, and I sweep across it like this. Okay, sweep across this one, sweep across this one. Look at the difference. Sweep across this one, and sweep across this one. There you go. All right. So what happens is, I'll show you this again in a few minutes. Maybe I might forget, but the point is, I like when I sketch, and this is my style. You got to find your own voice, and you have to find how you sketch and what you like. I like the fact that the pen bleeds. It softens up the line. It doesn't look as much like a coloring book. It also lets me use a lot of less black or gray paint as this paints in. And in some cases, you're going to see immediately happening. You probably can't see it yet, but right in here, there's actually a little, in this stylus, a little red or purple forming. And so I need to know that. This one has a little more lavender or some different purple. This one, all panes gray, panes black. This one, look at the gray green in this. See, they're starting to change already. You see that? So I use that. Oh, so there we go. I'm using this pen right now for a 7. Let's do the bold roo. And here he's going to look something like this. He's going to have a big comb up here like this. It's kind of a stalwart comb. It's cut back. Got another piece that hangs down. His beak is like this. He's rotund. He's coming down. He's up straight, and his back's open, and he's got a little bit of tail that comes around like this, and he hasn't been messing around. Okay, this is a bold roo. This is what I'd call bold. Okay, so we're going to say another break here, and then this leg comes down this way. Set in space and time goes off there. That's foreshortening one. I'm using art terms that I would never have used 100 days ago, just because you'll ask me what those are. And I told you I'm not a teacher. I'm an encourager of art. I just give out tips, and I started doing this to just have fun in the mornings and connect some people online. And then it turned into, oh, how long have you been teaching, and how did I miss the class? And I'm going like, no, you didn't miss a class, okay? I paint roosters for one reason: to share them. To sell them, sure. So maybe there's a lot of reasons, but I also paint them. They're the story collectors in my head. The rooster is the farm bard. He's the one that stands on the bank and says, "I see that something happened." Okay, so that's my story. I come from a long line of storytellers. In fact, I'm going to prove that in just a minute. Yeah, your mic is a little off today. Yeah, it is, and I appreciate. I am Mike, and I'm a little off today. Okay. Hey, I'm just going to, watch this. I'm just going to take this bigger brush, and I'm going to just put some water in the tail. Remember I said one of the things that I wanted to start was, the reason they call it watercolor is you put in the water first and the color later. So look, I'm just putting some of this water in here, and you see what's happening? Remember on the bleed up here at '07? Remember this is a pen I used? Look, it's starting to soften these lines up already, just letting it lay there. Okay? Then I'm just going to take another brush, and I'm just going to put a touch of water in here, not much, because I'm going to pick up some of my red after the colors have been softened up a little bit. Just roll a little bit of this in. And again, trying to keep my head out of the way. The camera's pretty high this morning. I can see I didn't set my studio up like it's been set up the last few days, but tore it all apart yesterday because I needed most of my gear to go do a video shoot. And for a company that I really like to hang out with, they're a fun company, Shutterfly. And man, they do some great work. They do some fun stuff. It's fun to see the equipment and what they do and how they make your photos get published in certain ways. It's just incredible. Blows my mind. See what's happening with that blue because that water's in there. It's just taking off like crazy. I'm gonna put a little black in there too. I just like that. I like this rooster on the bottom end has some dark down there. He's been underneath the tractor. That's part of his story. He's bold. Okay, he's coming out to say, hear ye. Today we're changing how things are done around the barnyard. Okay, so if you're painting cats or bees or flowers or dogs or whatever, look, birds. If you're a bird painter, you know, I got into this because I was sitting at the Watergate Hotel more than a dozen years ago. I'd done a painting of a blue soft-shell crab because we're in the Chesapeake area. We're sitting at the Watergate. Stayed there because I wanted to send Chuck Colson a note and say, hey, I'm at the Watergate. I traveled with Colson for about 3 years speaking, and he was a brilliant man. And I just love to hear him talk. And I would kind of do the little humor piece early on and play my guitar and do some stuff with Colson. And I was sitting at the Watergate, and I saw these little, and Carol's having her coffee, and she's throwing out little crumbs, and she's feeding these birds, and one bird's leaning over against the other like this, and they're just sort of sitting there. And so I just sort of sketched them in my journal, and I thought, this one bird's saying to the other, and I know you've heard me tell the story before, but he says, hey, do that broken wing thing, and this woman will throw us more crumbs. And so I thought that was just the funniest thing. And so then I thought, wow, the birds of the field, not only to be cared for, but they have language. And so it made me laugh, and I started painting them, and that's when Carol started saying, you know, you really should paint roosters because it's our namesake. Okay, I'm going to mix a little color here. And I don't know what happened to Hartford doing so well. All right. I mix mostly the colors I mix are on the bird itself, but in this case, I'm going in here in this one little open pan I carry, and I'm just mixing a little bit of Sag Harbor Gray, which is now French Gray. If you're buying your paint from Cheap Joe's, it's close enough. You know, don't worry about if it's called this red or some other red, or your mother's red or your brother's mother's red, or what. Just if you like the color, use it. That isn't very technical, but I'm not a technical painter. If you're doing loose paintings, people worry so much about the right name of the paint and what's in it. And, you know, I don't use paints that have metal in them. But I wouldn't care. I'm a blacksmith. Metal doesn't scare me off. And so I'm not going to get it on my hands. I'm not going to hurt anybody with it. You're like, well, what if he sends me a painting that's got metal paint in it? You're not going to lick your painting, I hope. Okay? So you're not, what's that word we started with this morning? You know, you're not going to be doing this. Floor sergeant, you're not going to be going up to it like someone just said, like honeysuckles. Remember that? You break a honeysuckle open and go, get that sweetness out of there. That's what the bees do all day long. Oh my gosh. Except they carry it home on their feet. And then they regurgitate it. And then we rob it and smoke it and put it in. And then we call it pure honey. I don't know about that. Okay. I kind of like this rooster with the white top up here. Just kind of like just a little bit of this in here. I think I'm going to push some of that out. Actually, just go in and hit it with a blotter and let it rub out just a little bit like that. I think I'm just going to let some of this yellow come down like so and just leave him loose like this. Come in here with a little black up in these corners. Yeah. All right. So see, there we go. Okay. Lisa Brown says you've been using puppy training pads to protect her table. You know, Lisa, you could do how I started. And let me show you how I started. Look. It's a piece of Luan. It's a piece of birch plywood or Luan. I just take a piece like this and I cut it out about 11 by 15 and I drill a hole in it so it's easy to pick up out of my briefcase. And I paint on this. That's about all the space I need for all the painting I do. That'll catch most of the splashes, can you tell? So that way, if I'm ready to pick up and go, I can go. Remember, we talked about bail-out bags and bug-out bags. You got your bag, you got your small paints in it. You've got the pens you want to take with you. You've got an eraser if you use pencils. You've got everything you need. So don't be caught without a pen and a paintbrush if you're an artist. Don't be caught without your pen if you're a writer, for heaven's sakes. What the heck? Had a young man called me one day and he said, hey, I'm sorry, you wanted me to call the landscape company and I don't have their number. I said, okay, it's 82, and he goes, no, wait, I don't have a pen to write it down. And I'm going, wait a minute, you call me to get a number that you don't have a pen to write down. And so I just hung up on him, and so he called me back. He said, did you hang up on me? And I said, yeah, I didn't know what you think that my phone just cut off. I just hung up. And he said, why? And I said, if you don't have a pen in your pocket, when you call the company, how are you going to write down what they tell you in the first place? So that's my beef, is to carry a pen if you're a writer, carry a notebook, carry a journal, carry something. Carry the bucket of water to people who are thirsty. Okay. All right. So here's so this is going to be our bold roo this morning. Look what this pen is doing down here. Remember that? Remember this? This pen right here is this pen right here. Take a look at the shadow that's already making. Okay, so I'm going to go get a little bit of green and touch that in there like this. And then I might go get a little bit of a darker color and just throw it under here and down here for a little better shadow. And so I got a bold roo. What am I going to do in the background? Nothing, just going to splash a little bit like this. There's where those puppy pads come in handy, Lisa. See, tied it right in, didn't I? Okay, and we'll sign this. I'll sign this right here. We will. I'll do it myself. I'm here. All right, there it is. There's Roodoodles with the M for 20. Put a little bit of this in here. Put a spur on this. All my roosters had spurs, and this rooster is out to tell a bold story. All right. Hey, in fact, I got a call from Grit Magazine yesterday, and they said, "Hey, is your painting done?" I'm going like, "It will be by Wednesday night." So I'm doing a Grit sends me their. I don't know what's in the back of this one. I should look. Oh yeah, this one. Look at this one. I love this one. In 1984, I had my license to build a moonshine still. And the ATF came in and they gave me a permit. I could make 10. I built a grist mill at the time out in the mountains of North Carolina. And we could do 10 gallons a week as long as we ran it in the lawnmowers. And so this was one of mine on home brews and making wines and making things. And so actually, this whole article was on soap making. And so this is what I thought would be a fun juxtaposition to soap making. So it says, "You sure we're making soap? Well, we add a little something extra in case Mom wants us to wash our mouth out." So there's an old Evinrude motor, and they're mixing up the mash, and they're making corn, and made of working steel. So I'll do this time. It's roof. It's farm or farm building repairs, roof repairs, so I thought this would be fun. So I've got a great idea. I can't tell you what it is, but it's going to come out in next month's Grit. Hey, and since I got books in my hand, let me share with you my brother's book. We call him Charlie. It's Charles G. And I'm Michael G. But they're not the same G's. They got confused. I like Grant. Actually, I would have liked to have been Grant. Jack Jacobs' Journey to the Sea. I think this book is available on Amazon. I'm pretty sure it is, and it's a low cost. So if you want to pay him twice as much, he'll be happy for that. It's look at that, Taru. Han is rooster in German. Charlie, thank you, man. I don't even know if I probably have seen it. I just forgot. He wrote this book quite a few years ago, and it's for young readers. It says it right there. It's I don't think the pages are. Oh, they are. It's about 47, 48 pages. It's a pretty big book. It's actually what is that? That's probably 8.5 by something. I don't have my tape up here, so let me just show you. There's a lot of words on this book. It looks different on your TV, right? Yeah, it's 7 by 10. Oh, great, perfect. 7 by 10. It's not illustrated, but its story is captivating. It's about a little boy named Jack Jacob who's going to take his boat down this creek, which reminds me of exactly where I grew up. It's not, but it does remind me of some of the places. And the little girl named Molly that he interacts with, they're both 9 or 10. And the storytelling that she does, as she is the connecting piece through this brilliant story. I think you're going to love my brother's book, and I know a lot of you have grandkids and kids that you read to. I think you ought to just jump on Amazon right now and just buy the stuff inside of it. It's really one of my favorite books. I'm not kidding you. I should have outlined a couple pieces to read to you today, but there is one bite where she makes him a peanut butter sandwich to get in his boat and sail off to the sea. He's on his way to the sea, and the creek doesn't even go to the sea, and the creek is mostly in rain runoff, and so he has to build a dam up to get the boat to float. It's pretty ingenious the way the story is linked together. I'm serious. I've read this thing many, many times, but it's just brilliant. He finds a hornet's nest, and I love that because I could see those hornets drawn in there, but there really aren't any hornets in it. And all this boards and work that he does, and everybody worries about Jack, that he's missing out on summer. And then Jack's got a purpose. Okay. Sometimes people worry about me because I'm up here in my office for hours and hours and hours, but I got a purpose. My purpose is to be creative with the things that God gave me, and this. And so I paint, I write, I produce videos, I go get to shoot stories, I put them together. And my purpose is still pretty good, but sometimes your purpose wanes a little bit. Talked to my friend about this yesterday, and it's easy for a purpose to go askew. And when it does, you have to think about what am I connecting between here and the heart down here and all these things that I'm coming in. How does that How do those come together? And what is it is you're supposed to do on this planet while you're here? There's something. You have a purpose. I hope you found some of that in art and being creative, whether you're a quilter, whether you're a potter or a painter or a poet or a published writer, or whether you need to start a show like we're doing today and you need to do your own show and encourage other people. Hey, look, do what you love. Do what you love. It's hard, but a lot of people are out of work and they're waiting on somebody else to help them. And I'm saying, no, I'm going to go do this, and it's fun. And look at you. You've created this great community for me. So it's called Jack Jacob's Journey to the Sea, and it's by Charles G. Hahn, Haun. It's the English spelling of the German name, Hahn. And so I think you're going to love this book. And there's one you can buy. You can buy two books today. The other one you can buy is this one right here. And yeah, it's getting day 100. It's called Hey Roo, What's a Wheelbarrow? And you can go to roodoodles.com and it'll show up. You can buy it from Amazon also, but if you want it signed with a drawing in the front, original painting, go to roodoodles.com and it'll take you to my Etsy store. If it says sold out, just hang on. I'll go look at it after the show, because I noticed that it had it the other day and I thought I replenished the store a little bit. Okay, so back to, I did my bold Roo. Here he is. I'm going to let him dry. I'm going to put a caption on him. There's the bold Roo right there. He's bold. I told you I was going to do an old Roo. Let's see if I got time to do an old Roo. I need a little piece of paper for that. I used a 9x12 piece of paper for this one. Okay, for this, I just split that in half, and I'm going to use this piece of paper for an old Roo. And I think the old Roo is going to be a lot like the one I painted today for, you saw on the website today. And I think I'm going to do him in this, I'm going to do his body in this. He's the old Roo, okay? I'm going to change pens here because I want this pen to bleed a little more. So here's a good example of me changing pens. Why did he just put that pen down and pick up the other pen? Because I want this pen to bleed a little more. I want to get some I want to get some movement from this pen when I put the water on there. Okay, so and I listened to the song this morning about steamboats. I know it's all crazy, but that's what I'm doing. And this old Roo has his foot up like this. Hey, if you get my brother's book, let me know. Send me a note. And I don't know how he's connected on social media. Charlie, I don't know how long it's been. I probably haven't seen my brother in 6 or 8 years. I saw him at a book sale one day. So we live a long way from each other. He graduated about the time I was starting school, and he went to the Navy, and where he took his pens and coffee cup and poetry with it. But he's a good writer, good storyteller. All right, I think his wife, and Becky, I think his wife is still just a fabulous painter. I hope she still paints. She was great. She did a mockingbird one time. That's state bird of Tennessee, I think it is. It ought to be my state bird. I think we're the cardinal here. See what I'm doing with the color on this bird? You see how I didn't go in for some deep, bold red. I just used this and barely touched it in. And I let that pen bleed right in with the red. Barely just touched a little red there and put it in. Because he's wearing thin a little bit, okay? He's looking like, oh my gosh, what's going on here? Ohio needs bees. Yeah, everybody needs bees, okay? So every now and then I jump back in. This is my fast brain. Good morning from Middle Tennessee. Hi, Keely. Welcome to the show. Christina, hoo-hoo-roo. Hot in the heart of Texas. Thank you from Janet Kelly. Sandy, how about a Roo with the brew? Oh, that's a good one. Maybe I should get on that. I've done a couple, with big, I did a couple in Lederhosen since they're German, and they were, one had a, and Micah, thank you. One had on a Lederhosen and was playing an accordion. And I forget the caption, but it was something like, how do you know when we've had 2 steins or 4 steins or something? It says, after 4, nobody. So, do we get the book off Etsy and it comes from you? Timberly, I just said that. Yes, if you get the book off Etsy, it is mailed from me. Will it take a little longer? Yes, because I'll lay it on the desk and I'll draw a Roo on it and I'll sign it. If you get it from Amazon, you can get that thing in a couple days. You can get it tomorrow if you wanted it. If it's an emergency read, go Amazon. If it's not, get it off Etsy and send me a note. And yes, it's I think it's $3 more to get it from me. But here's the reason: because the publishers finally have to send them over to me, and then I send them to you, and I pay the postage both ways. And so man's got to eat. So that's it. A worker's worth his wages. So people say, and a lot of you have been asking me about pricing your art, and I say price it to sell. You know, uh, does Cheap Joe's deliver worldwide? KK, I don't know. I know you're in Australia or Kayla, and I'm not sure. If they don't, we'll figure it out. If you can't get good art supplies down under, um, there's a way we can figure that out. Okay, and is there a pic in each issue of Grit? Yes, there is. There is a Roodoodle in each issue of Grit. On the back page, somewhere in here, whoops, I almost showed you what I'm painting. Hope you didn't see that. I've got a sketch that has to be done. Somewhere in here, there's a little thing that says Roodoodles. So it always says Roodoodles right in here, so I can go. And this one is called Distilling Soap. So there it is. I get the last page of Grit. And you know what? I'm so grateful, but I'll tell you what else. I love these magazines, and I have a stack of them over there, and I read back through them. Here's Finding the Right Brew. Here's one on coffee. Here's one on animals. Here's one on breaking down beef, herd health, eggs, chickens, recipes, fixing your screen doors. Come on. Remember this was a newspaper in the 1880s, and then it became a Slick magazine out of Topeka, Kansas. And this is a great staff, and they're scattered out to four winds like everybody else during COVID, and so they're buckling down. And so I just got another email from them yesterday that said, "Would you send us your dadgum painting?" No, they didn't. They were very nice, and I said it'll be to you by Wednesday. And so yes, there's one in each Grit. Good morning from Asheville, Carol, and so hey, I know I've got a lot. Charlie says, hey, his young readers are from 3rd grade to 7th grade, if somebody asked that question. So there you go. So this book is 3rd to 7th grade, but okay, I'm a little over 7th grade, maybe chronologically. I don't know about mentally, but my point is, I love the story. It makes me laugh. It makes me, there's a warm spot in my heart about this story. I'm holding it up, but it's Jack Jacob's Journey to the Sea. I think we should just blow it out the water on Amazon today. Brother probably needs a new fishing rod. So enjoy, all right? So I know there's a bunch of you that watch this show. So go get the book. If somebody look it up, it's probably what, $7, $8? I don't know. It's been out for quite a few years. And maybe I don't know if his address is in here, but we can find out a way to do it. You can probably find him on Facebook. And he'll have to clean up his Facebook page. I'm just kidding. All right, so there's an old Roo. See him? He's kind of coming in here old. And maybe he's just got, here's how you know it's old. He doesn't even have grass around him. It's just dusty. He's just kind of coming out, and he's going like, okay, I don't know what his caption's going to be, but I'm going to finish them all here before I finish this morning. Sometimes I paint the roosters, and then I just let them sit until they speak to me. And I'm hustling this morning. So I got a bold Roo. There he is right there. I've got an old Roo. There he is there. And now I'm going to do a told Roo. What in the world? It rhymed. I thought it was a good idea when I did it. I might have to use a pencil on this one, since I don't know what I'm painting here. So let me see if I can do this. Hold on one second here. All right, bold, old, and told. Here we go. My gosh, I just used this yesterday, Laura. So I said to a friend of mine, I feel like I've been rode hard and hung up wet. Yeah, that's an old cowboy line. I used it yesterday. All right, here we go. Let's see. Let's see if I can do this. I just turned that painting upside down. Did you see that? Uh-huh. How many times have you started painting upside down? Oh, all right. I'm going to use a 5 here. Here it is right here. This is a Pentel Energel. It's Energel, Energel, and it's 05. So there it is right there. So watch this. I'm just going to draw a little beak coming out there like this. And the waddle. And there's the eye right here. I'm not making the marks exactly where I penciled it in. I know some of you are surprised. You're going like, he's running out of the lines. Quit worrying about the lines, okay? Just worry about the story that you're telling. All right, so let's see here. All right, see that right there? All right, that doesn't make any sense until you turn it upside down like this, and you see this rooster like this, and he's coming in, and then he's got big old leg coming down like this, toe here, toe here. Maybe this one's coming out foreshortened there a little bit. Got quiet, didn't it? Yeah, because I'm the only one talking. Tamberly, thank you for jumping on board this morning. Tia, glad you're here. I'm sure you're from Greenville, South Carolina. Welcome to the show again. I'd love a roux by the campfire. Yeah, I'd love a roux roasting on the campfire. Chickens roasting on an open fire. Hey, we all eat them. I had chicken yesterday. Sneaking a peek while I'm working and get back to work. I hope your sound's on. Ad's not working. All right. Hey, don't you love how the colors of the pens bleed? I love it. All right, so I've got old roll. Yeah, I got 10 more minutes. What am I do with all this extra time? Penny Joe, thank you for joining me. You are a little bit late, but come on, with a name like Penny Joe, and thank you for pronouncing it for me because I've been messing it up. It's Pennijo, Penny Joe, Penny Joe, Penny Joe, Penny Joe. I love it. All right. Oh, Charlie, you're on, man. Look at this. The book is $6.99. You can find him on Facebook. Me holding a 30-inch redfish. I told you he needs to sell the books to find fishing rod. That's a story you can't make up. Him and Michael Ashburn ought to get together, and they would. If Ash, if he lived where you lived, he would never get back from the mailbox. My friend Ash walks out to the mailbox in the afternoon, and on his way out, he stops and he fishes for about 15 minutes on the little road out to his mailbox on his property there. And if he catches it then, he just takes it to the mailbox with him. But I think he's hopeful that he'll check the mailbox, put the mail in his back pocket. He fishes on the way back. Hopefully he can catch a little fish for dinner. So that's the way my brother is, I think. He used to fish all the time. He actually wanted to invent a couple fishing lures, I think, way back when. That's down near Tobler's Pond, I believe it was, Charlie, or down on Westland going down the road. Okay, so look at this painting. I'm gonna race a little bit if I can find an eraser. I still got 10 minutes. I'm flying today. 3 roux and storytelling and $6.99. That's a bargain. I'll just have to order another one too. As a matter of fact, I will order one. Here's your deal for today. Somebody who let me write myself a note, okay? Jack Jacob's Journey. I'm not going to give you mine because it's signed to me, but here's what I'll do. Charlie, I'm going to buy a book and I'll get it. Now, let me do this. I'm going to buy a book and I'll get it shipped in here and I'll give it away to somebody whose name that I will pull out of the post today. So if you post it on my page, if you share my page, just share the page. If it comes up there, I'll draw a name and I will paint a small little boat in the front cover of the book. Okay, I won't forge Charlie's name, but I'll paint a little boat. Paint a boat in the book, and I'll do that. All right, that's my offering to make this work today. So that way you get something out of it. That'll be fun. So somebody's going to get a free book, Jack Jacob's Journey to the Sea, and I'm going to paint a little boat. In fact, I'll paint a little rooster logo on the side of the boat. Will I remember that? Maybe. Roux on boat. All right. Hey, you write things down to remember them now. You write things down to remember them later. Okay, I got to finish this painting really quick. Now, what I've done here on this is actually put it on the reason I keep picking the paper up and filling it like this. This is Arteza paper. One side has a little bit of a tooth, a 140-pound kind of medium press, cold press maybe. The other side is very much like, maybe I'm wrong. Wow, this doesn't feel like... Oh, no, this must be mixed media paper. Oh, this is going to take off like crazy. Yeah, all right, this is mixed media paper. That's great. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go in with a little bit of a splatter paint on this right here, like this. All right, so I'm just going to splatter that roux right here, and I'm going to get a little bit of red and just touch it right in here like this, and get a little bit of yellow and just touch right in here like this. All right, and then I'm just going to come and start connecting these just with some water strips like this right here. So see, it just came out of the splatter. I didn't even use a lot of paint on there, okay? And then I'm going to come in here and pick up this, wash my brush out really well. All right. Can't stop watching long enough to say good morning. That's okay, Jan. Thank you for watching this morning. I'm flying this morning. It's day 98. We're winding down. We can see the finish line. It's 100 days I said I was going to paint for. And oh my gosh, Why did I paint his beak red? You know why? Because I'm upside down. That is hilarious. Oh, there we go. Man, I was painting that upside down. No wonder I couldn't see what I was doing. Let's just see if we can get some of that off and rescue a painting. Does this happen sometimes when you're painting? Oh, my heavens, all the times. And so I'm not going to redraw this at the end of the show with the finish line in view. This would be like going into pits. Afraid you're going to run out of fuel. And if you go into the pits, you know you're going to come in last. So I'm going to stay with it. I'm going to stay with it. Look at this. I'm going to go add some yellow right there. And I recovered. Ha! Did it. And I like some of this yellow and orange red running down into there anyway. Okay, I love it. I love it. I love it. While I got the brush in the yellow, I might as well go in here and do the peep like this. Paint him a little yellow. He's splotchy. See that coming in? Sorry I'm moving the paper around so much, but it's kind of a fun way to paint. I need some tea. I need a little caffeine, you think? All right. And I need a little bit of this lead color here. It's going to be a little bit of orange, yellow, red, mixed up some. I used all I had. Go get a touch more of this over here. That's way too much. You can't see what I'm doing probably. Yeah, that's way too much. So I'll just mix it on the painting. Here we go. So some of you worry way too much about the little things in art, and I'm doing this like this to just sort of demonstrate how you just need to be loose with the pen and the brush and just sort of let it happen. You know, I turn this thing upside down and it's still going to work. I promise you, this is going to work. When I'm done with it, you're going to go, "Oh my gosh, he's right, it worked." Um, and if it didn't work, you're going to get the gist of the story out of what this painting is all about. I'm going to show you in just a second how well that's going to work. And I'm going to use this little blue in my brush right here to just pick up a little shadow underneath. See that? I like the beak on the little peeps to be a little darker, just kind of like a little brown in there. I like a touch of just dark in their feathers right there. See that? Um, Watch this. I'm going to go in just a smidgen. There we go. Just like that. Man, when you're your own cameraman, your own producer, your own art design person, you just have to do it all. That's not a complaint. It's been fun being with you guys for 98 days. Tomorrow's 99. Where's Terry Tardy? Happy birthday. Here's a little spot of that turquoise for you. Terry Tardy's turquoise. I think if I come out with my own colors, it'll be Neil Mallory's ugly brown. It'll be Ruse comb red, or Ruse wattle red. It's going to be what was the flower that I painted? A Rudbeckia yellow. I think I'm going to come out with Terry Tardy's turquoise might be in there. I come out with my own line of paints here before long, and painting with pens. Just kidding. I'm really not going to do that. Okay, so I do need to turn it like this and make sure these feathers are going the right way. But you can see where I've got a little bit of turn going here. See, I'm just rolling my brush around to get all that action in there. All right, I'm 2 minutes away from putting caption on these, and then I'm out of here like a herd of turtles. All right, let's see. Can't stop watching long enough. Let me see if there's anything else. There you go. Root playing the guitar by the campfire. There you go. Chinoa found the book for $6.99. Boom. Ash said he caught 2 fish last night on the way to the mailbox and he got his light bill, his electric bill in the mail. Boom. Just put one of those fishes in an envelope, send it to him. That'd be great. Lisa Haymaker, you're going to love the book. Buy a copy, send it to your grandniece. You're going to love it. Margaret, you were painting a sailboat last night? Okay, I think that's fantastic. All right. And yeah, I'm going to give a book away. I'm going to give away my brother's book. Jack Jacobs' Journey to the Sea. I'm going to purchase a copy as soon as I hang up here, get it coming in, and I'm going to paint a little boat in the front right here. I might paint it on this piece of paper. Let's see how thick this paper is. I can probably paint it right here. I'll paint a little boat in there with a little boat on it, send it, okay? See there? Judy Skinner said you should paint a rowboat, which is like my Roobots, which is the book that I'm trying to finish right now. It's simple roosters connected with farm equipment. So they're robots that kids get to draw and learn how to draw different robot parts. Can I have a portion of your fast brain? I'll put that in the package with the book, Kim, if you win. I love the upside down roo. All right, it's time to go. I got to tell you what this roo is saying. Okay, so here's what happens. Here's the caption right here. Take a look. It's a rough painting, right? It's supposed to be rough. It's a storytelling piece of art. So don't worry too much about, but look, it's not all colored in. There's a lot of white space in here. There's a lot of holiday for you people like Kaylan or KK in Australia. You call it a holiday, when you go, mate, when you go places. So this painting has some holiday in it. You see it? It's got holidays. It's got space. It can breathe. There's a little bit of grass here. This is really slick. This paper, by the way, is what did I tell you it was? It's mixed media paper, so it really doesn't have much of a tooth. So that's why you see the paint ripple off like that. And I really love that this morning. I think I need a little piece of red right in here, and I just need a little bit of red splatter right there. All right, so here we go. A couple little darker marks in here. All right. The caption is Barnes looked tall when I was your age too. Okay. All right. So there it is. It's worth to tell stories to kids. You say, yeah. And you say, you know what parents do today? They say, the barn looks so tall. And you say, oh, it's not tall. Oh no, that's not tall. And you go, yes, it is. Don't lie to your kids. Yeah, that's a tall barn. But you're going to grow, and it won't look as tall when you get a little older, and you'll be able to handle what you need to handle. Okay. Don't live so fearfully, folks. Send somebody a note today. Tell them that, hey, things are going to change. One way or the other, they're going to change. Things can't stay the same. There's the told Roo. I told you this. I'm telling you the truth. This is the bold Roo. I'll find a caption and put it on, and I'll post this. This is the old Roo, and he's going to say something that's wise and sageful, and take the time to do it. And I know two of those were herbs. I just did that on purpose. It's 10 o'clock, and I'm going to go and get the guys to get this air conditioning turned on. Whoa, baby, is it hot up here. Can't wait to see what you have planned for 100. I'll tell you this, have your champagne glass ready, and we'll reach across. Champagne. Tomorrow's day 99. 99. Lord willing, I'll be here for it. And Philip, yes, I got your book order. I'll be painting some books later today. Sorry about that. And thank you, Belinda. I'm going to buy Jack Jacobs' book. Well, buy Charlie's book, but it's Jack Jacobs. So don't get these two confused. If you go trying to find Jack Jacobs, you'll figure it out. Okay. All right. And yes, I'll draw a name this morning. You got one more 30 seconds to get your names in. I am out of here. And my desk is so far upside down, I don't even know where my harmonica is. I always love to go out with a sound. And so here it is this morning. Got to finish this show.